the file containing Chief Mapiyeye's statement. You can put it aside to make some space for yourself. You deal, question 2 inquired from you as to your knowledge of and a role, if any, in the conclusion of 2 memoranda of agreement by Brigadier Mkwanazi on behalf of the city of Ekurhuleni, and invited you to give comments. Do you see that? Yes. I'm at page 11 of your statement. Mm-hmm. Verbal. Do you see where I am in your statement?
Yes, that's
following paragraph 58. And you deal cumulatively with the question 2.1 and 2.2, because the one question was specific to the Memorandum of Agreement with Medicare 24 during or about October 2021, and the other one being item 2.2 dealt with Memorandum of Agreement concluded with CAT VIP protection during or about October 2021. You then provide your answer from paragraph 59 at page 11 through to 66. Would you like to take the commissioners through your response as regards any knowledge you had regarding the conclusion of these 2 documents and any role you played, if any, in the conclusion of the 2 documents? Thank you.
Thank you, SC. The document, the memoranda, the 2 memoranda that were signed by Brigadier Mkwanazi, to my knowledge, it did not come to the attention of my office, and I did not know the origin, and I did not even know that they were implemented. For me, it is irregular for the department or a junior official to enter into a memorandum or memoranda without the accounting officer. The memoranda obviously contained the issue of the donation and so forth, but for me it was illegal. It was not within his powers to actually enter into those memoranda.
You reference annexures IM 9 and IM 10, which appear in your annexure bundle, for, page 9 and page 31, my apologies, and page 32, respectively. Your bundle file. It should have your name on the spine and read annexures. Have you found it? It should have your name and a file with your name on the spine, headed annexures. And I'm referring you to annexures 9 and 10, which appear at page 31 and 32, respectively.
Page, apologies for
No,
that.
it's quite okay.
Page?
Page 31.
Yes. Page 31, yes, ma'am.
Please confirm that that is marked IM 9,
Yes.
and it's an email with a name at the top, Liesel Tires. Is that where we are at?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. We are going to have regard to that document. And the following one, which is IM 10, and then you annex the 2 memoranda as IM 11 and IM 12, respectively. Okay. Now, you indicate in your statement, and I think you have confirmed now, in oral testimony, that you had no knowledge of the conclusion of these documents, these memoranda. You played no role in their conclusion. You state at paragraph 63, the first time I saw, and at page 12, The first time I saw signed versions of the memoranda was on 26 November 2025. Is that correct? No, Dr. Mashazi.
I beg your pardon?
We have to be verbal in our responses.
Correct.
Thank you. Now, you specifically call them signed versions. Does that suggest you have seen unsigned versions?
Yes, I have.
Where have you seen them?
It was through communication between, it was in the, I think it was in the Ipid report, I don't recall, but we will check and verify.
Because you have annexed IM 9 and IM 10 at paragraph 65, and we said IM 9 starts at page 31. That's an email. And this, as I read it, is an email from Jermaine Fortain. It's dated the 24th of October 2021. Do you see where I'm reading? And it reads, "Good day, Lizelle. For attention, if the chief, I guess that's off. Draft proposal accepted by Medicare 24, yet to do some amendments." You see where I'm reading? Am I reading this correctly, that this particular email had attached to it the two memoranda? Sound. Yes, ma'am. Is it the two memoranda that were attached to this email?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Now, you suggesting that that email forwarded the unsigned memoranda. Is that what you are saying, or am I misunderstanding you?
Yes, ma'am. As we indicated about the time constraint and the volume of evidence and statements, and as well as transcripts from the witnesses, well, our statement needs to be amended in terms of that, in terms of this particular sentence, and we would amend that.
Okay, for the record, just indicate the extent to which you'd like to amend that sentence, just to
Yes.
place it on record.
That we first saw the signed one, but to be honest, the question that you posed to me is, was I aware
Yes.
of the memoranda? And my answer was that I was not aware, and also it was irregular for the department to enter into that. But in terms of how and when, which one was signed, in terms of the Ipid report, whether it was signed or not, I cannot give you a definite answer. That's why I'm saying we'll go back and recorrect.
Okay, because you attach at paragraph 64 the two signed memoranda, marked
Yes.
annexed to IM 11 and 12. Am I understanding you correctly that IM 11 and 12 are the signed versions that you first came to learn of on the 26th of November 2025,
Exactly.
when they were presented to your attorneys?
Yes.
Okay. Then, does that suggest that you were aware of unsigned versions?
Yes, ma'am.
Are you able, firstly, where did you obtain the unsigned versions, if I may inquire?
I don't remember. As I'm saying that, because of the time constraint,
Yes.
it was difficult for us to get information anyway. And as I indicated during our session, that when you request documents, you are requested to go through the POPI Act and so forth and so forth. So the time given to us, it was definitely difficult, because at some point we requested some document and we were told that we must apply. My attorney must apply.
IM 11 and IM 12, which you say you obtained from the commission, attached, are both signed and date by above the name J.D. Mkwanazi, Director, Specialized Services. And I'm looking specifically at page 42, 35 and 42 of the two annexures. You see that?
Yes, ma'am.
At page 35, it's the conclusion of the first memorandum. There's a signature there that has been redacted. It's J.D. Mkwanazi, Director, Specialized Services. The second memorandum, JM 11, starts at page 37, and page 42, once again, has got a redacted signature, and above the name J.D. Mkwanazi, Director, Specialized Services. And these are the documents that you say you obtained from the Commission. Both of them are dated, partly dated. No, they are not dated. They reference, however, an effective date of 10/2021. Do you accept that, just from the document itself?
Yes, I do.
So we can accept that these would have come to your attention at the earliest in October 2021, at the very earliest, not before. Do you accept my logic?
I don't.
They are dated October 2021. They would suggest that they would not have been in existence prior to that date.
Yeah, they were never brought to my attention, as I indicated. Whether they are dated 2021, he signed them in 2021, or all I'm saying is I don't want to get into details of when was it signed, the draft, and so forth. All I want to respond to, according to my knowledge and according to my understanding, is that the two documents were never brought to my attention. This is the practice from the Department of Metropolis, not the city itself, because if I was aware of such memoranda, I was going to take action, to be honest, because it is irregular for a department to enter into any relationship with external service provider without the knowledge of their accounting officer.
And my question was informed by your statement that you had seen the unsigned version of these memoranda, and I was trying to determine, and for that we will have to rely on your memory, as to when that could possibly have been that you saw unsigned memoranda.
Can you repeat the question?
I say my question regarding these two is informed by what you stated, paragraph 63. You said the first time I saw signed versions was when you obtained them from the Commission. I had asked you a question, that's whether it is correct to understand that means you have seen unsigned versions, and you confirmed that. So I wanted to determine when that could possibly have been that you saw unsigned versions of these two memoranda.
I think it was during the Ipid report. I'm not sure, hence, ma'am, I'm saying, can we be given an opportunity to go and confirm?
I'm happy to do that. I don't have a challenge, but I just
Okay.
want to know what opportunity we are giving you.
Yes.
Yes. Are we giving you an opportunity to go test whether or not you saw the unsigned memoranda in the Ipid report,
Yes.
or whether you saw them elsewhere?
Yes.
Okay. But as a guesstimate, you would say it's most probably the Ipid report, although I will not hold you to that answer until you have cross-checked.
Okay.
Okay. And you conclude that section by saying you had no knowledge of these memoranda, or either one of them. You don't even know, I'm now at paragraph 65, whether they were ever implemented, and you confirm that you did not play any role whatsoever in their conclusion. That's correct. And you then invite the Commission to turn to Chief Mapiyeye and Brigadier Mkwanazi to explain how these memoranda came into existence and how they were signed.
Correct.
Thank you. That then concludes your response to the second question as regard. Yes, Commissioner?
Before you leave this section, Dr. Mashazi, around February 2023, there was a media inquiry from a News 24 journalist, where that journalist was asking about the very memoranda we are discussing under this Did you at that stage become aware of that inquiry?
It is true that I had that interview with the journalist. His inquiry was about the investigation, the internal investigation, not actually the memoranda, the two memoranda. It was about the investigation and the discipline, the investigation from Ipid. What was my understanding? What have we done with the Ipid report? That was the basis of the interview with the journalist.
No, I'm not asking about the media interview you had. I'm asking about inquiry from a journalist called Jeff Wicks on 2 February 2023,
Yes.
which was addressed to EMPD or Ekurhuleni, where the subject of the inquiry was this very memoranda that we are discussing now.
Unfortunately, I did not deal with that particular inquiry. And even the investigation, it was between the HR and Chief of Police as well as HOD Legal. I think he's going to speak more about it, the HOD Legal, because he's the one who went through the process with the Chief of Police. And he's the one who went through that, and he further complained about the leakage of information. So I cannot comment on that.
And then the Ipid report, because you say in 61.1 of your statement that it was presented to you by officials of Ipid on or about September 2023.
Yes.
So it was presented to you.
The Ipid report, yes, was presented to me.
And am I correct that the Ipid report recommended that the city of Ekurhuleni must charge Julius Mkwanazi?
Agree. And
the subject of those charges was this very memoranda that we are discussing, that he had entered into this memoranda with CAD Security Services. That was the recommendation from Ipid.
Yes, sir.
And you did not act on that recommendation. In fact, you either disregarded it or you chose not to comply with it. I don't know which is which.
In terms of the Ipid report was presented. Number one, it was sent to Chief of Police to action because Julius, by then, he was a director. So I did something because the allegations contained in the Ipid report were very gross. I acted by referring the report to Corporate and Legal and Chief of Police, because Chief of Police is mandated in terms of the SEFS Act to actually discipline members. And Julius, being one of his subordinates, he was supposed to do that. Even when you look at the Ipid report, I don't know, I have it somewhere, where they write to him to implement or to discipline Julius. So from my point, I did something as an accounting officer by referring it, because it's a legal document, I referred the document to HOD Legal, who later informed me that the document is incomplete, and he has advised chief or whatever that they cannot take action on this document, rather let them do the internal investigation. But from my part, I did not participate in the discipline of junior officials. My part was for me to accept the report and refer it to the relevant officials who are responsible to discipline Brigadier Mkwanazi in terms of his relationship, and also the memoranda that he entered into, the blue light story, the registration of vehicles. Those things were dealt with at the departmental level.
So as city manager, when you become aware that at departmental level, in the face of such serious allegations, they have not taken any action against Brigadier Julius Mkwanazi, did you just wash your hands? Once you became aware that they have not done anything in the face of such serious allegations, what was your part then?
When I became aware, can you repeat the question?
You say you referred them to the department.
Mm-hmm.
So there was an Ipid report. It recommended that Julius Mkwanazi be charged.
Mm-hmm.
You referred it to the department for Mapiyeye to do something about it. you also referred it to legal to have a look at it.
Yes.
And we know nothing came of either the Mapiyeye process or the legal process. Now you as city manager, in the face of such serious allegations that impact the city of Ekurhuleni, its credibility, its processes, because you've just said to us, if they entered into those memoranda, that's irregular and you would have done something about it. Now I'm saying to you, when they did not do anything about it, what did you as city manager do? These are serious allegations, Dr. Mashazi. You can't have a situation where a security company that has no relationship with the city of Ekurhuleni brings cars to Ekurhuleni and they are registered in the name of Ekurhuleni, and then they are given back or they are never handed over to the city of Ekurhuleni. And then that very security company uses blue lights. And they use those blue lights because there's supposedly a memoranda concluded between Ekurhuleni and that security company authorizing them to make use of blue lights. I mean, those are serious allegations. And to me, it's not good enough to say, I referred it to Mapiyeye, I referred it to head of legal. When they did not do anything, I also did not do anything. I find that very difficult to accept.
Okay, I take your point.
Do you have a comment?
No comment. We'll have a discussion with my attorneys around it.
Dr. Mashazi, maybe on this particular discussion, I know it's ahead in your statement somewhere, but maybe when you want to reconsider and discuss with your attorneys, you may want to have a look at your paragraph 91 in the statement, because in that paragraph 91 of your statement, in that paragraph you tell us who you referred the Ipid report to. And now you're saying something different. And maybe take that into account and see what you want to do with it. When you consult with your lawyers, you tell us that you referred it to Kemi Behari, and now you mention Mapiyeye, and you haven't mentioned him in respect of this report.
Okay, thank you very much, ma'am. Isaac Mapiyeye, in terms of the Ipid report and in terms of his responsibility, he was supposed to discipline Julius. He was supposed to discipline him. 2, I referred the item to the report to Kemi because he's a lawyer. Yes. And I think it is our processes that any legal document must be sent to the head of legal to actually peruse and give the accounting officer an opinion on how to move forward. But the responsibility still lied with the chief of police to discipline Julius.
Yes. So did I mishear you then? Because I thought you said you referred the report to Mapiyeye and Behari. Did I mishear that
you
part?
Misunderstood. Thank you, sorry. Thank you so much. The report was directly sent to Mapiyeye from the Ipid. They wrote to him as the chief of police to discipline Julius.
Yes.
And later, the report was presented to me, and I found the report to be problematic in the sense that there were serious allegations. That's why I sent the report to Kemi, and for Kemi to actually advise me in terms of moving forward the report.
Okay. Like I said, it's a topic later on, so I would like to explore it further.
Okay,
so
sure.
I'll pause there for now. But maybe before you leave the topic you were discussing with Ms. Sillo, I just wanted to make a correction factually. At the bundle now, not the statement, the other bundle, at page 31, those emails, I think you and Ms. Sillo have said that the attachments to that email are the 2 memoranda And maybe let's look at the memoranda and then I'll make the correction that I think needs to be made. And then you can say if I'm correct or not. So in that bundle, the memoranda, the two memoranda start at page 33. The first one is the Ekurhuleni Metropolitan and CAT VIP protection. That's at page 33, you see that. And then the next one is at page 30, just if you would just hold on for me.
37.
The next one is at page 32, I think, 32, yes. And it's Ekurhuleni Metropolitan Police Department and Medicare 24, Emergency Medical Services, slash Anubi Protection Services. You see that? You see
Commissioner Baloyi, for the record, may I correct? The second one is at page 37, not
Oh,
page
I
32.
do apologize. Indeed, page 37. I'm sorry. So you can see the one at page 37. It's different parties except for the Metropolitan. The other party is different. At 37,
Yes.
it's Medicare and Anubis Protection Services. So it's a different protection services company. You see that? Okay. The correction I thought needs to be made is if you now go back to page 31, keeping in mind what I've pointed out now, if you go back to 31, that email there, the attachment is described as pre-final EMS and EMPD MOU. You see that?
Yes.
In fact, the subject ahead of that is pre-final EMS and EMPD MOU draft 1, and then the next one says EMS and EMPD MOU. None of these headings refer to CAT Protection Services or Anubis Protection Services. You see the point I'm making?
Yes, yes.
Okay. So it seems that we are talking about one memorandum that was attached and not two. And then the second point I just wanted to make sure we establish for the record is when you say the memoranda, you saw memoranda that were signed and you are referring to these two, the only signature that appears there is of Brigadier Mkwanazi and no one else.
Yes.
All right, thank you so much. Thank you, Mr.
Thank you, Commissioner. Perhaps we take a slight step back, and I want us to address specifically the correction that Commissioner Baloyi suggests be effected. And for that purpose, I would like to refer you to Annexure IM 10. At your statement, paragraph 62, you state that these plural memoranda were sent to Office of Chief Mapiyeye in October 2021, but were not brought to my attention. Do you see where I'm reading?
Yes.
Then you say, I attach here to Annexure IM 9 and IM 10 an email and affidavit confirming that the memoranda, in the plural, were sent to the chief on or about October 21st. Now, if we turn our attention then to IM 10, IM 9 is the email, IM 10 is the affidavit that you reference. Correct?
Correct.
On my reading of IM 10, that is a statement on a City of Ekurhuleni letterhead written in the form of an affidavit and signed by, it states, Liesel Tyers, Personal Assistant, Office of the Chief of Police, Ekurhuleni Metropolitan Police Department, City of Ekurhuleni, and it's dated the 17th of August 2023 at the bottom. You see where I'm reading?
Yes, ma'am.
Now I want us to go to paragraph 2 of that document, that affidavit. The first paragraph of that paragraph 2, there are 2 subparagraphs there. The first reads, I can confirm that I received the mentioned document via email from Superintendent Jermaine Fortain, dated Sunday, 24th October 2021, and calls it a pre-final EMS and EMPD MOU draft 1. C, then it says attached annexure B. Then the second paragraph reads, I can confirm that I have received a second email with attachment MOU Memorandum of Understanding from Superintendent Jermaine Fontaine on the same date, about a few minutes later. The first, the email is supposed to have gone through at 16:09, the second one at 16:13. And the subject, once again, is pre-final EMS and EMPD, and says it's Annexure C. You are not the author of this affidavit. You are not the author of this affidavit. I'm going to give my interpretation of what is written here, and I'd like to invite yours. I understood the affidavit to speak to two distinct documents. Was that your impression as well on its reading?
Yes, ma'am.
And now, if you accept that these are two documents, both of which are memoranda of understanding, do you still intend to effect the correction that Commissioner Baloyi suggests? Because your statement speaks to two distinct memoranda, and you say, though the signed versions of those memoranda that are referenced in this document are what we now call IM 11 and 12, which you received from the Commission. So if I can take you back, are we talking about one memorandum here, insofar as both this email and that you have attached and the affidavit that you have attached, or are we speaking about two documents?
Yeah, the memoranda that we're talking about, they are two.
Yes.
One is for the Medicare and one is for the CAT VIP security services.
And you maintain those are the two documents that you say are referred to in this affidavit. Can I inquire, even just on a reading of it, this affidavit was not communicated via the email that is attached as EM9, because that communicates the memoranda. Where did you obtain this particular affidavit from?
Ma'am, I'm not sure.
No, you don't recall.
And I don't recall, and hence I said we were struggling to we got information from this one.
Okay.
So it is difficult for me to actually indicate the source of the document. But the document obviously is from the EMPD department.
Yes. No, I accept that response. Thank you. Yes, Commissioner.
Can I, Dr. Mashazi, I'm not suggesting that in the final analysis it's going to be of any big moment. I just wanted the factual correction. If you look at that same affidavit that Ms. Sillo is pointing you to, the first paragraph she read refers to an email at 16:09, which contains one memorandum, and then another one at 16:13. It contains a different MOU. Now, the email from Ms. Fontaine at page 31 is at 16:09. So we know from the affidavit that it contained one memorandum. That's all I wanted to correct, because I had understood the exchange between you and Ms. Sillo to be that Ms. Fontaine had attached to this email at page 31 two memoranda. So I was just making that correction. You see the correction I was making?
Yes.
That what she has attached at 31 is in fact the one memorandum at 16:09.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you. Thank you, Ms. Sillo.
Thank you, Commissioner. And I think the correction is correctly pointed out, because in terms of the affidavit, there are two distinct emails. The Times reference there speaks to two different emails. Because you had already started this topic with Commissioner Khumalo, perhaps it's appropriate that we then jump ahead in your statement to close this Ipid investigation issue regarding the use of the blue lights and the conclusion of these two memoranda. You understand? So I'm going to jump ahead. Rather than park it, drift into yonder somewhere only to come back to the same issue. May I suggest that we run ahead and look at page 21. At page 21, you answer question 10. And specifically, the failure to implement the directives by Ipid to initiate disciplinary action against Brigadier Mkwanazi. You see where I'm reading? To help you, or to help us all to understand exactly what we are talking about, please try and locate Chief Mapiyeye's annexure bundle, and that's where we will locate the actual Ipid report. Chief Mapiyeye's bundle. And I would like to refer us to JM19, starting at page 101.
101.
Have you located it? When we keep saying the Ipid report, that is the document we are talking about, right? Is it?
Yes, ma'am.
And you recall that Commissioner Khumalo said Ipid specifically recommended that disciplinary steps be taken against Mr. Mkwanazi. And that recommendation appears at page 103 under the heading Ipid recommendation.
Yes, ma'am.
And that is the report you received. And Commissioner Khumalo wanted to understand the failure to act on that recommendation. Correct? Your failure specifically as a city manager. That's the question that Commissioner Khumalo had posed to you.
I don't agree that I did not act. I
Okay.
indicated that receiving this document, I acted. And the person responsible to discipline Mkwanazi is the Chief of Police.
Okay.
I wish the Commission could understand how council works and how the systems of delegations work. And in terms of the SEPS Act, the Commission is aware that the discipline of members in the EMPD relies solely on the Chief of Police. And if the accounting officer had to actually sit in all the DCs of junior officials in this 26 department, how will the accounting officer discharge her duties, especially her strategic duties, governance, service delivery, and performance of the city in general?
Okay.